right, so we have, thank you, Jean, for joining us this evening. We have an hour with Jean, because this is what I didn't realize. Him and I were talking, and I said, well, no, Jean, we're only 6 hours apart. He says, no. He says, it's this time here. Remember, Jean, we were just talking about this, and he said, no, we're actually, now we're like 7 hours apart. So we can't have Jean on for the couple hours we'd like to, but of course he was a busy man, so he worked real late last night, and we'll just call it that, right? He didn't go to bed till later. So, yeah, I don't blame him there. So anyway, we'll take advantage of the time we do have with him.
It's 12 a.m. Yeah, Chris.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We don't want to go too late. Yeah. We hate to see you, Jean. We hate to see you fall asleep here on us. We don't want to see that happen.
I don't want to fall in my chair again, Chris.
Yeah.
That's painful.
I hear that. That could be bad. All right, so I'm going to say evening to everybody there. We're not going to waste too much time on there. Just go through a couple of them, but I know everybody's in there as well, and I know you got a couple of fine folks from your channel as well, Jean. I know you said something about giving everybody the heads up, so that's cool. And yeah, we won't waste too much time with the hellos and everything else. I might just breeze over these comments real quick. I know some of you were commenting about the videos, both Jean's and mine. So a great big thank you to everyone.
Don't you want to do roll call?
Well, we could, but then we'll eat up that hour, and we don't want to do that.
That's noodles yet. There's noodles in the chat.
I don't know.
I don't see. The Mr. Spanner guy's not there yet.
No, I'm not seeing him. No, he might have been busy this evening.
Who's moderating for you tonight, Chris?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Oh, let's see. Oh. Oh, okay. Just looking at through.
Renee Cruz says, "Oh my God, it's 12 midnight." Yep.
Like what? Like I said, because we had fallen behind on time, of course, because of daylight savings time and all that other good stuff. And so right off the bat, yeah, you went. Like I said, you're an hour difference, even more so. So now we're 7 hours difference as opposed to the 6. Well,
yeah,
we're still happy to have you on here regardless. Let me see. Let me get this a little bit bigger on the screen so I can see what we're doing here. Gotta look at the other monitor. Let me just go down here because I don't want to have... Thank you, Kyle. Good evening to you. Much appreciated and for your support. Let's go. Let's get donating. Okay, we can do that. But Andy Hughes says, hit the thumbs up button, guys. And we always have our favorite fan here. I was just telling Jean, we got our favorite fan in here. This thing hasn't even started yet. It got a thumbs down. I'm like, yes, awesome. Hey, any fan's a good fan, right?
I know.
Gotta love it.
There's nothing like bad publicity, right?
Oh yeah. Hey, publicity's publicity, right? But
exactly.
The fact that they took the time to say, I'm gonna go over his channel. I gotta hit that thumbs down. It's like, what's the mentality and the thinking of that? I mean, it's just silliness, right? But nonetheless, I think it's amusing. All right. Like I said, everybody's in there. I appreciate everybody watching the videos. Really good couple of them this week. Everybody's telling, oh, man, that's, pretty good stuff. I said I did one of Mars and I did one of the Moon, and I said I would probably do that one more. And then the rest of you guys, if you haven't jumped over to Lunar Anomalies and Beyond, do that. I'll leave a link after the show's over. And, of course, anybody who is not aware of Jean Ward's channel, we'll leave a link for him as well. So you can definitely check his stuff out. We were just talking about this. I said I love the idea that I do the ground and a lot of the up-close photos on Mars where he does, or satellite, at least the majority. I would say what is it, 95, 99%, Jean?
99.
Yeah, pretty much. So, which is awesome because you get a different perspective. Now, sometimes we're going to have to get together and do a certain area. Where you're doing that, I'm doing one area and you're doing the satellite. We'll have to get together and try to get that match. I know a couple of you guys have said that at one point. That'd be pretty cool.
It would be nice if I can find some real good anomalies in the location of Curiosity.
Yeah, that would be good.
There's nice stuff in Mount Sharp.
Yeah.
It looks like ruins. How do you pronounce it? Publian ruins or something like that. South
Um,
American ruin.
yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Oh,
but it's in Mount Swap itself, and it's not close to the rover. It's a pity.
oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
this.
sorry, I'm not good at Mexican words.
um, was it just real quick there? Oh, Mimi, thank you. You said Chris, your new moon video was amazing. I don't know if you guys checked out Jean's latest one too. I thought that was really spectacular. Just like it, I was just telling him about. Well, he thanked me because I gave him a shout out in the last hangout where I was talking about that structure, and it had like 8 different like square type chimney type things on there, some kind of weird details, and it had a couple of smaller ones. And I said, you know what, that kind of did it for me because what's the chances of that, right?
Pueblo. There we go. Thanks,
Pueblo, yeah,
Wayne.
Pueblo Indians, yeah.
Pueblo. Yes, Pueblo ruins. Yes.
Yeah, it kind of confused me. I didn't know how you were, saying that, so I was kind of like, what? I wasn't sure how you were, what name you were trying to describe.
I think Joe over at Art Alien TV also featured some of those structures.
Yeah.
I hope the rover goes up through that gully, up to those ruins. It will be really nice to see a close-up of them.
It would be. Yeah.
Yes.
I totally agree.
Because it is within reach. It can get there.
Yeah, it's I already believe that they're already up in Mount Shop. Because keep in mind, from the research we've done, the photos that we're seeing, let's say the latest one, we jump on there right now, the very latest one is actually 30 days behind. From the research that we've done, it's 30 days. So whatever you're seeing today was 30 days ago. At least 30 days ago. So
they probably want to clean up the photographs.
Yeah, pretty much. They want to censor the photo, and plus they want to analyze the photo, so on and so forth. Yeah, I mean, crazy, right? But
Yep.
if that's true, and I already believe that they're already up the mountain. They claim that they're still trying to find their way up, and they might be starting to go up Mount Shop itself, and I don't think that's the case at all. I think they've already been up and started up that mountain a long time ago.
Kyle says, say, hasta la vista, baby. There we go. Is that Spanish?
Hasta la vista. Yeah, get to the chopper. Let's see.
That's a good interpretation. Well done.
I try. Dave Haver, you said, Chris, I sent a Gigapan some weeks ago via email. Did you ever get a chance to view it? There are loads of artifacts. I almost positive I did, Dave. I'm going to go back and check them out. Everything I've gotten off the emails, I put in a download filter, a folder rather, so I can actually go and check them out later. So this way here, I'm trying to get through each and every one of them so that, everybody will get a chance to have theirs viewed, right? Because we don't want to leave anybody out if we can. If we just want to keep everybody in the loop and check out everybody's stuff. And here's the thing. I mean, I've had other people send me photos, some really, really good stuff. So like I said, I put it in the folders, but then you're like, okay, you try like heck to get to them. Now, I got the 2 videos out this week, but I want to get out more than that. And it's kind of tough to do that. A while back, I had some people get mad at me. Oh, I sent you this a long time ago, man. How come you haven't gotten to it? It's like, if I could show you my email, you'd probably understand why. Because I get quite a bit of people sending me stuff. And, a lot of it's just, just saying, hey, great work, this, that, and the other. So that's cool. So, yeah. Definitely, I'll definitely get to it and see what we got here. Yeah, Tony, eat fresh. Oh, well, we'll just drink fresh. Anyway, Jean, you got some good pictures up here. And I'm going to just, lose our faces right now.
Are you going to put up the Gigapan first?
Well, I'm going to put up that one. I'm going to get rid of that one. And I'm going to get rid of...
the structure?
Yeah. I'm going to get rid of us for a second here. And bring on these. Now, I'll tell you what I liked the most. It was this one here. It was the Ancient Salt Mines or Agriculture Farms Discovered on Mars. Now, this is a Jean's page. You can see it up here. And it's the Raptor Zone. And we're going to go down to this. This is cool. This is the one I thought was really amazing. I'm going to bring it up, see if it'll jump right in there. It does. Guys, just looking at this right off the bat, I was just like, whoa, this is cool. So, Jean, you know which one we're looking at. We're looking at all the lines and stuff like that, and it looks like an agriculture or some kind of salt mine. Explain what you found in here. I'll jump back to the regular page.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and explain what you found in this.
Chris, if you compare the shapes of those, the patterns at those walls, I speculate those are walls that they're about 20 meters wide, and they're uniform. They're uniform in width. They look like salt mines that you find here on Earth. Those were the evaporating water salt mines.
Right.
They're actually a mine for salt on the surface of the Earth. It looks very similar to that. And then also the walls that they build around rice paddies in Asia. You've got the same shapes.
Right.
You've got rectangles, you've got rounded corners, and 90-degree angles and parallel lines. Look at that. It's incredible. And then in that circular depression, we've got a cross.
Yeah. Yeah, right here on the left-hand side, you can see that circle. Now, I'm going to show you something. I put it in Photoshop for the heck of it, and this is what I come up with. This is amazing. And it really, really defines this area pretty well. I'm going to bring this right in. And what do you think of this once this thing pops up? Because, Jean, you're also watching the same exact time that our subs are. So we'll let this jump on the screen, and then you can tell me what you think. Now, I brought it really dark, and I brought the brighter areas down so we can make this more definitive. It should have popped in right now.
Wow. That's incredible.
To me, that's insane.
It looks like walls of an ancient city.
Yes. Here's the funny part. You jump down here. I'm trying to remember exactly right here. Look at this. Once it pops in on that end, they'll see it as well. But you can see these weird lines here. I'm going to just go ahead and draw an outline of this one here. And you have what looks like these little structures, and then you get this other piece right here. I mean, I don't know what the chances of that. Now, keep in mind, I believe a lot of this has been manipulated, obfuscated, and you can see like some of the pots are pretty clear within reason, and then you look up in this area here, it's got all this kind of blurriness going to it, and on a lot of this as well. What I do see, and it kind of looks weird, like you can see the very top here, like let's say the very top of the walls, and then just below it gets blurry. I wonder if these are actually full with water. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I've seen other high-rise photographs. Actually, you know, what was that? Mars Global Surveyor.
Yeah.
The one just before the MRO.
Yep.
Actually took photographs of an area on Mars that looked like it was a lake.
Yeah.
And it had, Will Farrar actually featured it too. And it looked like it had a beach area with a pier with those poles that are spaced equally apart.
Yep.
It looked just like it, and it had like vegetation around it.
Yeah.
But when you look in the high-rise photograph, it's gone. All that detail is gone.
Imagine
So
that.
I don't know what's going.
Let me do this. Let me get rid of that box
The
there.
global surveyor picked up a lot more anomalies, but at lower resolution, of course. But this is amazing, the way the detail that you brought out there.
Well, that's what I mean. I like to bring out as much as I can, get more in depth. That gives it more depth to it. And just that circle alone with that cross in it. What? I mean, I look at that. And first of all, all this area here is just mind-blowing because, and this is a good catch, by the way, because I love this. Come on, what's the chances of this? Let me make this a little bit bigger because I know sometimes you guys are on the smaller devices. Right here, what is the chances of this thing doing this? This one almost looks like it would be completed, but it isn't. But check out the actual, it's almost the same shape as the way this one here and the inner one does. We almost have that here. The only difference is we didn't have it in this section. But check out the way those things are, man. Look at this. Now, have you measured from here to here and vice versa? Because this one obviously, well, clearly this one's bigger right here, right? But I'm just kind of curious if you've measured more than one of these to get an idea, just how big they are. And of course, you have to wait a little bit until this all fills in. But you can see where I draw the arrows. But those 2 walls or 3 walls, you got one wall in the middle I just drew, and you've got the other ones there. I mean, have you done any of these square areas, the inside, and figured out how big they were?
I would say the distance between those walls averages about 800 meters. 500, round about there.
Okay.
I can open.
I'm trying to equate what that comes out to, like either a mile or feet or whatever.
I can actually open it here on my side, and I can tell you, Chris.
Yeah.
Let's quickly see. I've got a scale indicator that will make it a little easier.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Thank you again, Kyle. I appreciate you. You said it looks like Nazca lines. I mean, it has that uncanny look, like it just does not look natural to me. Now, can nature carve certain things in the ground? Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. And it can actually almost look like it's artificial, meaning not naturally made. But some of these things are just the way they're connected. You notice the walls are pretty darn straight, too. I mean, except for the ones on this side here. You can see where they are not straight. But this might have been done purposely, or why would they need to be straight? I mean, think of it. If you got a certain amount of property, it's kind of like a lot of people, not all the land is the same. But I noticed right here, let me go ahead and bring this back up here. Let me go do this. Right in this corner, look at the way this thing meets. I mean, if this is wind and water erosion or something like that, how does all of these connect so perfectly or pretty darn close? And keep in mind, this might have been here for how many years? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been covered over a lot of sand and dust.
Yeah.
Probably due to wind. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Chris, I'm making a mistake here in my calculation. 0.25. Oh, my calculator's running hex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm running in hex. Can you believe it?
Oops. Whoopsies.
Oh, they're about 5,600 meters apart. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's massive.
Now, what does that come out to feet?
I don't know. Divide by 4, isn't it? No.
I just go to the converter on Google, put in meters to feet or miles. Oh, it depends on what you're measuring too,
Yeah. It's incredible.
That's a great question, Kyle. You said they channeling the water? Oh, they are channeling water. I mean...
Oh, that we saw in Jezero.
Yeah, okay.
With those trenches or canals.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
That were 3 meters wide. All those canals are 3 meters wide. Remember, we had a look at that about 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But this is definitely pooling water.
I found this interesting here. I don't know if you've seen this, but in this circle, we got something right here, which is very small, but... All right, but the circle, if you look at it, it's pretty darn... I mean, what are the chances of that doing this the way it's doing it? Of course, I'm not going to be completely perfect on this, but what I see is this right here, like it's maybe a depression. You guys see that? Right in here. Almost like it's an inlet. And something right here, there is an inner circle. You can see that. Again, it's not going to be perfect. Then you get this, what looks like something's higher up. To me, these look more like walls than like a channel itself, where it's actually, in other words, you got 2 sides to it and it's actually channeling water. It looks like walls to me, like you would put up in a property, like a stone wall property.
Yes,
Um,
yes, those are walls. If you look at the shadows.
yeah. So I think it's pretty interesting. This circle itself, what are the chances of that? And it's one thing you say, well, that could have been a crater, and I'll go with that, because obviously it can do that. But then you got one in the inside, and then you got the X. So what is the chances of that? And then having this depression on this side, which looks like it's lower than the rest of it. At least it has that kind of weird look to it right there. See that?
Mm.
So you got the inner and outer, like I said. Got the cross. Then you got that indention. Or it looks like a depression, like it's lower. You can see it like it has a different shade to it.
Oh my word! I wonder what that was.
I don't know. And here's the thing: when you get this huge circle, okay, I'm just gonna do this quickly so it ain't gonna come out right. And then you got all of these other lines that look like they were literally put there intentionally, meaning it's not something by nature. It was put there intelligently. And to me, that's what it looks like to me. Now, could we be wrong? Sure. But I don't know, man. To me, that just does not look like nature did it.
It looks like a collapsed dome.
Yeah, it does.
Dome-like structure. Wow. Okay.
I'll be all right. Let me see. Hate it when that happens. Had a nasty itch. I was looking at here in the bottom too. It's just weird. It looks like there's multiple walls and stuff running in different directions here, and this one in the lower right. Well, it doesn't go like that. It kind of goes like this. Looks like a separate wall here in the center, and then looks like another one kind of faded here.
Chris, the second image on my blog page shows those structures a little bit further south. And there's also some really interesting stuff there. Then you'll be able to make out that area you're looking at now.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what we got.
There's a large chunk of it in the second image, if you want to bring that up.
Oh, you're talking about the second one down, the next one down from it? Okay. Yeah, let's bring this up here. Yeah, I mean, you can just see it's like riddled with, like, it's almost like somebody squared off and basically surveyed their land and then put walls up. That's what it looks like to me. Or like you said earlier, it could be some kind of agriculturing area. I don't know. This is just weird, man. Now, of course, I didn't put this into Photoshop. But look at this. What are the chances of this one on the bottom here doing that? You'll see. I can't put a marker on it because we're live on this page, but it literally comes down and goes around and then down to the bottom. Like I said, I'll wait until this thing gets up here. But I got the cursors actually pretty big. I can go in there and make the mouse setting real big. And when I see it on the end result, it's like this little tiny little thing. And it seems to be, the problem with it is through the actual software that I'm using. You can't make it bigger in that for some reason. I don't know what it is. I've looked and there's no way around it. You just can't use it on there. I don't know why the mouse settings you couldn't make bigger. I don't know. Which is really bizarre, but yeah. Make that a little bit. All right, there we go. Let me see. Yeah, do you see that way at the bottom there? Jean, you can see it right here. I'm just going to do it the cursor. Let's see if it goes to the bottom. The very bottom line in the middle, it looks like it's going down and then stops and goes off to the right and then down. What is that? How is a natural, anything going to do that? I'm looking at a lot of these lines here. Like the one almost at the top of the page in the middle looks like a Y. It's shaped like a Y. It's almost like these stones or whatever they are have been placed there. This is not something it doesn't appear to be. Let me get this a little more zoomed in.
If you look at the images further down on that page, you'll see rows of megalithic blocks in some of those walls.
Which one are you
There's
talking
some
about?
raw.
Because we got this one here. We got the top one, the next one down we just looked at, and then you got a third one, and I think it's the fourth one you're talking about where you get the blocks. You can see them up close. Let me zoom into that one here. That's a rather big one here. It's taking actually a little time to load this. Yeah, it's like you can see them now. Really, really cool. It's almost like it was put there, somebody had done that. Let me see here. Trying to see what the heck this is.
Some of those blocks are 5 by 5 meters in size, Chris, to give you an idea.
Oh, really? That is pretty darn big, then.
Yep.
Let me zoom into these. Let's see if we can find anything that's a little more unusual here. What do you think?
Okay.
Well, right off the bat, you got this one over here. It looks like it's like a triangular shape, right here. Like I said, the cursor's a little smaller on the actual what these guys are seeing, but you can still see it. A little yellow arrow there. But it looks like on the left-hand side of this, looks like this white kind of pointed triangular shaped rock. And you can just see it now. I'm going to be pointing to it right there. I'm going to go around it here.
Yeah.
That is just, to me, that's pretty cool. Let me see here. Let me go across. And even if these are just boulders, that's fine. I mean, because clearly they're going to build out of natural stuff, right? So, but to me, it just seems weird how these things, like they're all laid out in a row purposely. And you got to remember, these might have been a lot sharper and a lot taller, but over the years, the wind, hit on both sides of these boulders. And of course, you get these, I'm going to call them sand drifts, as opposed to a snow drift. And you'll get it on each side of the wall. And it would make sense to me. Yeah, that's cool.
Chris, what would happen if a glacier melts and it cracks up?
Yeah.
And the water drains in through the sand? Will it make shapes like this? I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Mother Nature can do some crazy things, but hell, I don't know. Be truthful with you.
There's just too much geometry. And if you look at that gigapad that I sent you the link to, you'll see some shapes there
Let me see.
that makes it impossible, in my opinion, for it to have been a glacier that melted.
Okay, let me see this.
And this is in the mid-latitudes of Mars, where it's warmer. You'd expect the glaciers to be more in the higher latitudes and not the mid-latitudes.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, I did see this. This is actually pretty darn cool. Now, again, we're seeing this weird, is this done by nature or is this done by, is it natural or has this been designed this way? What do you guys think on this? This one's cool, too.
No, if you look at some of those semicircular designs, one's actually mirrored.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And the arcs are offset by 20 meters.
Huh. Yeah, you got like
weird.
this right here. Going, it slopes up on the left, goes straight across, slopes down on the right. Of course, it doesn't come down exactly the way the left did, but regardless, that is cool. And like I said, the big main one here, that's pretty interesting here. That almost like a rounded corner square almost. At least the three sides, it almost appears that way. And then the fourth, it's got that other kind of weird thing right there in the smack dab of all of these lines. I think that's just interesting. The thing just jumped on me big time as far as the... Architect Nick says, I think Jean Ward initially thought of it being a rice paddy is high probability. Sure. Yep. I think you even mentioned that, didn't you?
I did. And I've actually got photographs of a rice paddy and the salt mines in Peru.
Yeah.
On that blog as well, and you can see the patterns are repeated. Although on Mars they're a little bit bigger. The walls are a bit wider and the gaps between them are a bit further.
Right.
But the patterns are very, very similar.
These are interesting shapes here. Now, these might be nothing more than big dunes, although I don't know what it is per pixel as far as size-wise.
25 centimeters per pixel.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, this you can see these on the screen now. They kind of look like these sand dunes. Right here, you can just see because some of them, you can see the actual waviness to them and everything else. Like, these could be. But what I find is the one right smack dab in the center, right here, and it looks like it's off the ground. It actually has a shadow right there. Coming around, goes like this here, goes around like this here. I think that's pretty interesting. I mean, hate to go too far into a photo, then it starts a little degradation there. I don't really like to do that. Let me see what else we got here.
Now, Neil Spence did a great job with this gigapan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this really came out good.
Awesome. Yeah.
Let me zoom way into these here. Well, I don't want to go too far in, because then it really starts to look like crap. But here's a perfect example. Look at the way these stones are right here. The way they're lined up. I mean, can nature do some crazy stuff, like I said? Yeah. But, man, that's just weird, the way that looks almost perfectly straight across. And you'll see it, these guys will all see it there in a second, where it has these, I'll put them right in the middle of the screen here. And I decided, like I said, when you zoom in, it just looks like they're lined up pretty well. See
Exactly.
that? And it's the way, it's almost like they've been put there purposely, right?
Mm.
Ian, you said there's one of Jean's blocks with a nub in the center of it. Well, like I said, we had talked about when we looked at these things. Remember, I told you about the last one when I had gave you a shout out in the last live feed, where I was talking about that rectangular block with all of those, those. It almost looked like chimneys, kind of thing. It almost like square chimneys sticking out. And depending on the angle of the sun, they looked like they had a good, shadow to them, like they were quite tall. Again, I don't know what the angle of the sun was, but still, what's the chance of this rectangular block? And I think it was quite large, wasn't it?
Yeah, let's see, about 14 meters long and about 8 meters wide, which makes those funny knobs about 1.5 meters wide.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say they're about 1 meter or 2 up, straight up.
Right. That's pretty.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. That's good size. I mean, it doesn't have to be extremely large, but that's pretty good size.
Mm.
And like I said, they look that they've been laid out. I mean, some of these things are really darn straight, man. It's like, and then of course not so many. Some not so much. But I just, like I said, this one here, these are awesome. Let me see what we got here in this. Yeah, look at the square, man. Look at the angle of these, almost 90 degrees perfectly. And it'll be on the screen so everybody can see that. At 216 Kenny, thank you very much for your support. It is appreciated. He said the double circle and cross looks very similar to the Richat structure. I have the Sahara. Love your channel, tons of knowledge. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, and for your support as well. Yeah, I mean, just some of these things, like, because they always say there's some kind of link, meaning there's a link between Mars and, of course, Egypt and so on and so forth. And I don't doubt that for a minute if there was a possibility that there was life on both planets, right? Both Mars and Earth. And I've speculated that. Like at some time in the distant past, we could have been had a civilization on both planets. How do we know we didn't fly back and forth at some point? And then all of a sudden, bam, all of a sudden something catastrophic happened to Mars. And of course, we are what's left of the two of them. And, most of them perished or they came here. I don't know. Again, pure speculation. But I find it interesting. Like this piece right here. What do you make of this right here in the middle of the screen, John? This is cool.
I'm not sure. Can you zoom in a bit closer, Chris?
Oh, I'm just saying, even just the corners. I mean, you can see like a half a square here. You got a corner down at the bottom, and you go to the top one. There's another corner right there. See that? This whole opening, this whole area. And then you got, of course, it looks like a mountain range or something in the middle of it, but this whole area's got like a half a square around it. That, to me, right off the bat, is like, what? Is that natural? I don't know.
There's so many right angles and perpendicular intersections.
Absolutely.
Strange sets. It's incredible.
Let's go to, this one's pretty cool too. I'm going to go to your other page here. A strange derelict structure, transit hub. Now, I've seen this video. This is cool. This one's pretty cool. I'm going to put both pictures here so people can see what you're actually trying to convey, where you have what looks like a half-round circle, and it looks like it has a little support. So I don't know if you're saying, I think you said it was like you can see like the outer edge of something round, and it looks like it has support legs on it. And
yes.
And that is just cool. Describe this a little bit for us. I got both pictures. I got the one that has the lines actually drawing it out, and then, of course, the one that's raw.
Okay. Well, Chris, that looks like, to me, like some type of transport or transit hub. It's got this central dome-like feature, which may have collapsed. And then coming out of it, we've got sort of rectangular pipes with right angles to them. It looks like you'd find at a modern airport, for example.
Exactly.
I don't know if that is purposely built that way or whether it's been covered in sand with over time. But look at the parallel lines to it and the gap or the spacing between those lines.
Right. Yeah, what's the chance of nature doing that?
Yeah, and that part of the ring that you can see is 30 meters across, so which makes that circular structure about 60 meters in diameter, so it's quite huge.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, like I said, I don't think nature's going to do that.
So I'm not sure what to make of it, Chris. If it was here on Earth, it would be a pretty small structure.
Right.
But if there were smaller creatures or humanoids on Mars, that would be a huge structure.
True. Yeah.
So.
I mean, I've seen things on some of these Martian photos that kind of go against what your brain would tell you. In other words, you're thinking in the size of us. And you think, well, if there's any other beings like on Mars or any other planet, surely they must be our size. Well, we know that Mars is a little bit, I think it's a little over half the size of Earth, meaning, so half the size, but a little over half. I think it's like 60% roughly of Earth. So let's suppose it had people our size and smaller ones, because I've seen things like these carved out rocks with detail on them, and I'm going, these things literally fit in the palm of your hand. How is this possible? So is it possible they had both? They had both large and small civilization on Mars, or was it always just all small? And this is the reason why, even if there was some alive today, they wouldn't be a threat to us. Think about it. Can you imagine and of course I'm going to just speculate like mad right now, but let's suppose you're only 5-6 inches tall. Can you imagine what that rover looks like to you? Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God. This thing would look like Godzilla, mechanical Godzilla coming at you. So, I mean, these things would be incredibly large. Let's see.
So I'm not sure. Could that have been a dome-like structure in the past?
Well, being the way it's shaped, it's either a platform and it might have had water next to it, or like you said, it might have been a dome type thing.
Or maybe it's an industrial plant.
Could be.
And those are pipes.
That could be. I mean, again, we can only speculate, but when you see something like that half round, it tells me a couple things like I was just saying. It's either on the edge of maybe a lake, some body of water, and of course the water is now gone. And is it possible that the whole thing is actually there? Or was it built off the side of a hill? We don't know. But to me, that clearly is not natural. You know, I just don't think it is. And it looks like it's in ruins as far as I'm concerned. When I look at the raw photo, it looks like it's in ruins.
And there's just too many right angles there, parallel structures, equal distance between them.
Yep.
It's just, I don't know what nature, what in nature would make something like that?
Well, it's exactly my thoughts. You know, I'm looking at that thing and I'm just saying, what? Wow, it's crazy, man. It's just, I don't know. When I see something like that, it just doesn't, you know, it clearly looks like it's intelligently made. Now, is it possible it's natural? I guess. You know, it depends on how it just come off the side of this area here. Maybe at some point, water erosion, wind erosion. Very good possibility. We got to keep our minds open to the possibility of that too, right? So, you know, I don't have a problem with that either way. But to me, it kind of does look like it had some intelligent design to it. Let's see real quick. I wanted to say shout out to two of the ladies in there. Miss Heard, good to see you in there. And Sarah Michelle, good to see you in there as well. Hope you're doing good, both of you there. Let's see. Yeah, no beer in here yet, Sarah. We're just, we're designated YouTubers. We don't want to, like, pass out at the at the microphone here. So, yeah, we got to wait until after that. Then I can commence. Let's see. Anybody else? What do you guys think about this what we're looking at here? Bobby Pentland, what's going on? You said something for living underground. Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm saying. When you see these structures, it makes you wonder, were some of these just above ground structures? Were they like half and half? Like they were built under, you know, on the top as well as the bottom? I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, maybe this was covered over, Chris, and those are passageways that we see there.
Yeah, that could be.
Like corridors and passageways and things.
Yeah, now we're seeing them exposed at some point. Maybe they're, you know, like I said, something catastrophic, and all we're seeing is the wall standing, and maybe the rooftops have been ripped off of these things, and all we're seeing is what's left, right?
If you look at tunneling underneath the pyramids, they follow pretty much the same sort of pattern. Yeah,
they do. Absolutely do.
Which is weird.
Architect Matt, you said you were directing this at Jean Ward. You said the only thing that is natural that can make that is something like an intelligent being, and I think we all agree with that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Nicholas Snyder said that looks like a base if I ever saw one.
It does, like a moon base.
Let's see. You can explain this one here. Matching anomalies discovered in southern, I think it's Argyre?
Oh, yes, those blocks.
Yeah, region on Mars, blocks. Yeah. Here's one right here.
There's two of them next to each other, and they're the same size.
Well, I'm looking at the first two, and they look like just large blocks, because we can see that.
Slabs, yeah. Like, oh, okay. Let me wait until you scroll down. I'm a bit behind.
Yeah, you will. You're seeing the same thing they're seeing. James Cragen, he said, Chris, I'm telling you, some of these structures are huge. Let's not forget about that. Oh, no doubt. But let's suppose these were little people on Mars. I'm going to go down to the third one here, Jean. Let's suppose they were very small. Then these structures could be okay size to us, but be incredibly large like the structures we live in. In other words, they're pretty much uniform to our size. We have built our own structures so we can live in them pretty comfortably, where if you were half, maybe tenth of the size of you wouldn't need much. It would be like the same thing you see in your own home. In other words, it would be, uniform to their size. So kind of makes sense,
Yeah. Okay, those blocks, I think, are a bit further down on the page, Chris. And then there's also a strange structure with right angles to it. It looks like sheet metal or tiles that have been placed next to one another on that page as well, if you go down a bit.
Yeah, I went down. There's one that's darker and one that's lighter, it appears. And I think you got to click for larger scale, and it says a 1-to-1 scale, but you'll see it coming up pretty soon. Yeah, I mean, to me, that's cool. I mean, why is it that a lot of these blocks have these circles or some kind of rectangular pieces or square, what almost looks like chimneys on them? What do you think these things are that's coming off the top of these things?
Okay, there's a whole list of what it could be.
Yeah.
They could be those protrusions or knobs that you find in the megaliths down in South America.
Mm.
They've got these strange protrusions on them. They could be dwellings, for all that we know.
Yeah.
Or they could be some type of creatures that are looking for sunlight, going out into the middle of the block. Or they could be conductors of some type of aerial electricity.
True.
Or they could be markers.
Yeah.
They could be shrines. Or they could be hatches.
True. Well, what I like about these blocks here, you get the one that's got that kind of lighter area on it, and of course it looks like the other one to the right of it and on the top. It almost looks like the number one. But look just to the left of both, you got this weird little shape, and it's like 4 round dots or some kind of like little design to them. You see those faint little black darker spots. What's the chance of that doing that? That's kind of weird. Somebody said they look like exhaust system. Kyle said that. To vent the carbon monoxide so they are exhaust systems. Huh.
They could be smokestacks.
Yeah. That's the first thing I thought of. I mean, it's not far-fetched when you think we have, I like to call them stink pipes like you got for your toilets and stuff. And then, of course, you got your chimneys and stuff like that. Why is it far-fetched? I mean, look at the technology we got today, and we still have the same thing. Got to vent out gases, right? Yeah. And I think you show it right here in the video. I just brought it way down where you got your video, and it looks like them 2 blocks that you're talking about on the right-hand side in that particular still on the video. And I'm going to just go just up the next one up from it. And, yeah, you got 2 blocks. One looks almost perfect for crying out loud. And you got the other one that looks like the same size. I think that's the ones you're referring to.
Yep, 8 by 5 meters, both of them.
Yeah. James Cragen, thank you very much for your support, man. You said, Chris, the Mars rover is supposed to land in a 28-mile wide crater, which is Jezero. I think it is, Jezero crater. On the February 18th, 2021. Let's see what size is then in comparison to this now, 99 days away. Yeah, I mean, we're all curious to see what's going to happen with that. I can't wait to say either. But we had done a video on there, and I know this one here, wasn't this the one you just said it was in Jezero? Those other, what looked like those walls and stuff? Or was that another area?
No, those walls are near a place called Bad Water.
Okay.
That's weird, right? Bad water.
Yeah.
And we've got salt mines.
Yeah.
Why would they call it bad water?
Yeah, I thought there was no water.
Yeah, and then the canals and trenches that are found in Jezero aren't in that link that I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you go over to my blog and you search for 2020 rover,
Yep.
you'll see the link to that blog post, and then you'll be able to open the images that are captured for that specific area.
Here's that. I went back to the original when we looked at that circle where you have this circle right there on the screen, and really interesting shapes, man. This is just cool. I mean, I guess a vortex of wind can kind of cause this weirdness to it, but first of all, you got the circle, you got the cross in the middle, you got all the other what look like walls. I don't know, man. I just don't see it. Is it possible? Sure. It just doesn't look like that, right?
Mm.
Let's see. What was I saying? Better cameras on it, baby. We can see some more from the rover in 2021. Yeah, well, like I said, guys, I wasn't really holding my breath because when I think about how they changed what looks like AI algorithm kind of thing with what they're doing with the Martian photos, it has that weird fuzziness around it now where it seems like they they kind of, what's the word I want to use? They started using it, so when the new rover starts taking pictures, this is going to be the norm. We're going to see that weird kind of manipulation now where it's not sharp corners, it's like fuzzy around everything you see. Imagine that. So we can get rid of some details so these people can't pick up on it. You see what's in this right in here. Okay, I thought it was something else in the very center of this photo here. But sometimes you actually have to put a little blur into these, but...
Yeah, but Photoshop's got some nice tools.
Yeah, oh, sure it does,
that can undo a lot of their damage.
Okay, this is another good one in here. These blocks are up close. Good evening to you, Mags K. Like I said, Bobby's in there. Pascal, I think it's 5. Claire Mead is in there. She said hi all. Mike Knapp's in there, and a whole bunch of others there I didn't mention, so I'm not like ignoring you guys. I'm just like I said, we didn't have a whole lot of time with Jean, so we didn't want to waste too much of it there. Yeah, this is cool. Like I said, it looks like these were walls that were built, and then, of course, over time, windstorms and everything else filled in every, space and everything else you can think of with basically dirt. And you can see how it's running down into the corner of this. You can see like this. So these might be quite high. What was your guesstimation on the height of these? 2 or 3 meters, or was it?
Oh, the walls.
Yeah.
I would say 3 to 5 meters tall, Chris. A conservative guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so, good size wall.
It looks like they were damming up liquid water or something like that.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. I'm saying to myself, I wonder if they like making these like giant pools for something. Like you said, if it's agriculture, it would make sense, right?
Or to actually mine some type of mineral. Because when the water dries out, the mineral stays behind.
Right. Yep. Let me see here.
And obviously this whole area has been covered in dust and sand.
Exactly.
But if you look at how much white, bright material there is.
Oh, yeah.
I think it could have been something like salt.
Could very well be.
Because if you look at the pictures further down on that page, Chris, of the salt mine in Peru.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Those walls are brown, and here and there, it's white. So this is what we're seeing here as well in the black and white.
Yeah.
There's a couple of these white areas, which, I don't know, it looks like some type of mineral that's been covered over in sand.
Yeah, it could very well
be. And if you look at the small dunes in these clearings, it's definitely a very flat, smooth area.
Yep.
And the way these have formed says to me it's flat inside there. That's weird. I don't know what else to make of it. Could be nature, but with the right angles and the uniform width of the walls and things.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking.
The way those walls intersect, and they just stop. It's weird.
I'm just looking at this one real quick. This one you've got here, and I'm seeing like little white squares that are along these walls. Are they squares, or are they really? Is all of these really rocks, or something more?
And you see that bright structure that at the bottom of the pit? It's got terraces on it.
Yes. Yeah, I'm seeing. Wow, this is cool. Look at the little white squares in here. Are we sure these are rocks? Look at these right here. There's actually two of these things sitting right here together.
Yeah, I did find megaliths in these images, Chris.
I can't zoom in anymore.
And they're huge.
Yeah, so they're looking like to me too, guys. I mean, even if you're looking at it on your small phones, where just take your magnifying glass out. Look at these little. I'm going to put it right in the middle of the screen, much as I can, right there. And look at this middle section of these. It looks like they just try to like blur or just kind of like fade these things out, but you can see what looks like little shiny pieces and what look like squares in different shapes. Are we looking at artifacts of the photo? Well, let's see. Let's back out a little bit so we don't get that. And I'm still seeing these things. They don't appear to be like almost like a compression artifact if you zoom out. Right here on the right-hand side. Check this thing out. Let me move over to this side. This is cool. And I'm going to put it right in smack dab in the middle of the screen. There's a rectangular structure sitting right there. Actually, maybe several of them. I can't zoom any more than that, but right there, smack dab. I'm going to put my cursor just under it. That's cool. That doesn't look like your standard rock, or unless it's some kind of megalithic block. But look at this, two whiter dots on top of it. So, and then I'm looking around, I can see what looks like just squares in different shapes. I'm going, okay, when I back out, they still are the same shape. Wow. Even to the right here. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to just go around it with my cursor. So it's actually inside the circle. That rectangular piece there, smack dab in the middle of the screen. There's another white one on the side. Just maybe at about the 11 o'clock area. Right there. And then we have these others. And this is cool. I'll get to that in a second. I'm doing it right now. I'm going around. You guys can see that. And then when I go over to the right-hand side, wow. I don't know what the hell these are either, but they sure look like very right-hand side of that. I'm going to put it right in the middle, if I can. Right there in the middle. What are we looking at here? I'm telling you what, guys. It looks like structures in the middle of these things. I'm looking at... Oh, my God. Look at this. You're going to love this one. This is even better. Now I'm going to just go over and circle a little bit here. Look at these. Wait till you see these, Jean. These are cool. And I know you're probably going to want to leave soon. Like I said, I don't want to see you fall asleep on the mic there. But right here, I don't know if you can see that, but let me see. Right there. And then what I'm going to do is the ones on the right-hand side, almost in the upper right corner, have a look at those little white pieces. It look like they went over it like with a tool or something like that to go over these things and block them out. There's actually squares and all kinds of shapes inside here. And they're whiter. Like a silver, a white. Do you see that right there? Especially this one right here. This is cool. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom into that as much as I can. I don't think I can zoom into much. But I'm going to put these right smack dab in the middle of the frame. And have a look at these middle pieces. One that's really bright right here. And it looks like they took the lasso tool, and what they do is they took the ground and they put it over to try to block it out. But you can see squares with a black circle at the top of this one. This object behind it is actually whiter and like a silver. I think we're seeing structures in here. I'm going to be honest with you. That is just weird. Even on this ridge here, if we could look down at this rock, or this wall, I should say, where it almost comes together, you can see what looks like white squares and these different shape patterns on right here on the wall. Were
I
these?
can make it up.
What is it?
I can make that out too.
I'm wondering now if, let's suppose, like you got like you see some of these roads that go out past the mainland and go way out into an island, that you have a road on this, and there's houses on either side of the road, and you have ocean on both sides. I wonder if that was the case, or these are actually structures all over the place. Just look at anywhere in this photo, guys. Anywhere right now where this thing's at. And look at these little white pieces sticking out. They're not just round or some kind of boulder. They're squares. They're rectangular. They have different shapes, especially the one here. This is wild. Oh, I can see it now. I'm going to have to enhance that for you.
Photoshop it.
Oh, this is cool. This has got a lot of cool stuff in here. And like I said, when you really get into these photos and really start to jump into them and just, magnify the crap out of these things, use your magnifier, suddenly you go, okay, are these really rocks or are they something more?
I wish I had more time. Then I'd actually analyze these photographs a little more.
Yeah.
But I always look at the bigger anomalies. And
Yeah.
I put those out. And it's astounding how much detail is actually there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to maybe enhance this and give this to you. Because I love to find what's really in here. I love this because I'm wondering now if this is not something else. All right, Architect Ness says, Chris, zoom in, count pixels, multiply by scale factor of 25 centimeters. Yeah, you can do that. Yep. What does anybody else looking at these things? What are we seeing here? I usually see stuff Chris doesn't mention. The evidence is staggering for years now. Every picture. Yeah, Nicholas, you're right. I mean, I do notice a lot of this stuff, and I tell people a lot of times, listen, a lot of times I'll do the larger objects before I do the smaller ones. So a lot of people go, Chris, how did you miss this? It's not that I did. I just didn't want to go over every single piece because it would have took me forever to do it, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like I'll do the major stuff first, right? So, yeah.
I do that too. I look at the bigger things, pop them out there, and then my subscribers find all the other detail, which I love. I just love it when my subscribers actually go in and have a look at these things up close.
Oh, yeah. The more you look into these things, you start going, okay, maybe, and this is the reason why you'll see me back out a lot of times, because I go, well, if I get too close, I'm going to start seeing compression artifacts. This is the last thing we want to say. So I'll back out. Now, at this point, you shouldn't see any artifacts at all, at least very little, if any, and yet I'm seeing all kinds of different shapes, what looks like structures in there, whiter or silverish color, or if you want to call it a color, like a reflective surface, if you will,
Yes.
James Cragen, thank you very much for your support, man. You said, claw time for the CGI boys. Glasses again, come on. So that's cool. Oh, thank you, Tanya. I appreciate that. She just said, she had sent a little something for us, a little support. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I think you just said you've been hacked there again. I'm just so surprised. You gotta love their, what's the word I'm looking for? Tenacity. You gotta just love it, how they're just persistent. Man, it just makes you wonder how come, whether your name is in somebody else's mouth or something like that. It just makes you wonder, these people have a life at all? Or, I don't know. It's just weird. Somebody's got to be thinking about you, talking about you constantly. It's either, what are they, jealous of you? Are you a threat to them? I mean, yeah, crazy, right?
Keyboard jockeys.
Oh, yeah. Well, you get these, people will do that. Other channels will do that. Things like that,
It's all part of the course.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you just got to take it with a grain of salt. But some of these people get, they get into hacking and everything else, and it's just crazy. And it's just like, I just don't worry about it, Thank you, Elaine Walls, very much for your support. It is appreciated. You said more cleaning cloths for NASA. James is going to be broke buying so many. Well, he's trying to break them. Yeah, he's trying to buy these guys some of these things because I guess they can't afford it with all money they're spending on these missions. Heck, I'm just right. Look at this. I'm at the very bottom of this wall. Look at around this wall itself. There's no way these are just blocks. They're just, yeah, there's too many. Let me get my magnifying glass here. I'm just curious real quick. Oh, no. Check that, guys. You got to see that. Once I zoom into this, look at the bottom here. Right there, I got it right in the center of the screen. And have a look with your magnifying glass. There's no way. That's a city right there. You can, oh my God. Look at the way they're lined up. You talk about blocks and lined up, man. I can see this section right here. Just to the left of my cursor, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 5 or 6 blocks. Are they blocks or are they structures? This whole area is full of things that just are not rocks. There's no way they are. And if they are, I said this before, Mother Nature on Mars is insane. She's very crafty. Well, Jean, I'll give you the decision whether you want to jump off or not. It's been well, it's been a little over an hour, so it's totally up to you. If you want to jump off or stay, it's up to you.
I think so, Chris. I think I'm starting to fade, so if I can hop off, yeah, that would be cool. Thank you so much for featuring these anomalies, Chris. I appreciate it very, very much.
Oh, not a problem. I mean, I think it's great work that you're doing, so just keep on doing it. And like I said, I'm going to go through these for the heck of it and, see if there's anything we can bring out even more so.
Please do. Please do.
And I'll give them back to you. Yeah. I'll give them back to you and see what you think because I'm just like, whoa, wow. Just good stuff. But so everybody, say goodnight to Jean. He's going to jump on off here. I guess it's what, 12 or 1 o'clock at your time?
Yeah, just past 1.
Yeah, it's just past 1 o'clock. So yeah, I don't blame him. I think I'd probably be passed out at the microphone right now too. So anyway, thank you, Jean. Good to have you in there as always. You have a good weekend there, right? And we're going to talk soon about what we were just talking about earlier. We got a little something in the works here. If we can get it to crank up, that'll be awesome. So have a good night there, right?
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris. And to all your subscribers and friends. Ciao for now, everybody. I'll see you next time.